Hello and welcome to the pre-GCSE using data revision session. Today we're going to do the June 2012 paper. So what I'm doing question 4. In my previous videos I've done question 1, 2, 3, etc. This is question 4. This is about plotting graphs. So let's make a start. Right, okay, so we're looking at our preliminary study. Remember, it's here. And our question sheet is on this side. So on here it says use British Airways on page 3 of the data sheet. Make sure every question on the exam paper you relate to the data sheet. So this is my British Airways, and I'm looking here for the question. So the question is, some of the data are repeated below. On the grid below, which is this one, plot the data pairs for the fleet size and the number of employees. So it's fleet size and the number of employees. So I look at my graph. So the number of employees is in thousands. So this is the vertical, and the horizontal is the fleet size. Now, when we think about what numbers we're going to put on our chart, okay, we look at our numbers, and for, let's say, take the number of employees first, the vertical one. Okay, we look for the largest number. So my largest number is 57. Okay, so 57. So I have to make sure that I use the maximum vertical here, and for the fleet size I make sure that I fill it in here. Yeah, okay, so that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to squash your graph in a little area like this. Try to use all of it. Okay, so when I look at my grid, I'm going to say my number of employees, the largest, is 57, so I need about 6 blocks up. Okay, so I need about, let's say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's okay, because that's 50 and that'll be 60, so I can go in here, so that's okay. Now another thing you have to remember is when you're trying to do a grid, make sure that you use equal amounts. Now what I mean by equal amounts, I've decided for the number of employees I'm going to go up in tens. Yeah, so here you look for, you look at your graph paper, that's 10. The next one here is 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Now if you look here, these are what we call equal distance. So from there to there, okay, that should be about 10 squares. That's 10 squares up, 10 squares up, 10 squares up, 10, 10. Yeah, so they have to be equal. Okay, so that's one thing we have to bear in mind. Now for my next one, I have my fleet size. So fleet size here, look for my largest value, right, 330. Okay, so I need to go across here all the way. I have to think about a suitable scale. So I don't have many across here. So what I'm going to do, I'll probably go up in the hundreds. So if that's 100, 200 and 300. Sorry, that was a little glitch. Let's get back to the right page. Okay, so that is supposed to be 300. That's 300. Now I'm ready to plot my data pairs. Now what do they mean by data pairs? Okay, so the data pairs will be, remember pair means 2, so I'm going to plot this and this one on my graph here. Right, okay, so the first one I'm going to look at is my number of employees. So my number of employees is 57 when my fleet size is 330. So if I go to my 57, so that is 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the thing about this is make sure you have a ruler in the exam. So you can put your ruler here and go all the way to, that's 330. So that'll be 1, 2, 3. So it's about here, yeah? So I'm actually going to put my, all right, I'm going to do it quickly. Okay, mine won't be that accurate. Okay, so I'm going to plot it there. Okay, so that's my little plot there. The next one, number of employees, is 52. So go to my 52 here. 52, and my fleet size is 291. So we'll go all the way to 291, so probably here. Okay, very rough. Then I've got 50 employees. So I've got my 50 employees, and I've got my 284. So 50 employees and 284. 284. Where's 84? 84. Oh, 84. About around about here. Okay, I'm going to plot it there, yeah? So I'm going to finish plotting this, and then you'll come back, yeah? Okay, these are my points here. Now, if you look at the points plotted, okay, they're not accurate. Now, the reason why, obviously yours is going to be more accurate because it's the quality of, you know, the tablet that I'm using, and also I can't pinpoint the plots properly. So obviously, but this is the rough idea. Now, a typical question on this type of scatter graph that you can get will be things like, explain how you can tell from the graph that the fleet size and the number of employees, so that's the fleet size and the number of employees, are not directly proportional. Okay, what we mean by direct, if something is directly proportional, all the points would actually go through, they'll be in a straight line, and it'll go through the origin. So the points should be something like this, yeah? Right, when we have this type of graph, we call it is directly proportional. Okay, so it's directly proportional. These are the type of questions they're going to ask you. Now, if you look at our diagram here, the points are not directly proportional because, first of all, I can't draw a straight line through them, and also they don't go past the origin, which is 0. Okay, so here it says, how can you tell from the graph that the fleet size and the number of employees are not directly proportional? I can say that because the points plotted are not in line and they don't run through the origin. Okay, so the data we've got here, the fleet size and the number of employees, is not proportional. Why? Because I cannot draw a line through the points, and also it doesn't go all the way through 0. So please make sure you remember this. All type of questions, they're either directly proportional, where the line will go straight through, or they're not proportional and you can't join this up in a straight line. So that's what you need to answer, yeah? Thank you.